Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another interview episode here on We Create Music TV. Of course, I am the host, your guy, Vaughan, and today, whenever you watch it, right now, it's tonight, 7 p.m. here in Atlanta. Oh, we got a great guest tonight. I want everybody to give it up for internationally acclaimed soulful jazz vocalist, Sharon Marie Cline.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi there.
Hello.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
That's right. And so for those of you who are watching, I am all the way over here on the Eastern Coast, and Miss Cline is all the way over there on the Western Coast. I love technology, right? Because it allows the ability for people to be in so many different places, but allows us to connect with one another right here through this platform.
Yeah, so true.
Yes, so true. So Sharon, so welcome once again. I'm excited to learn more about you and your experience and the things you've done from a musical perspective. So yes. So let's get into it.
Right, I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Here we go. That's right. So, of course, with every guest that I always ask the question, how did you get started in music?
There's one answer that I'm going to give, just the short, and then I'm going to give you the long. I believe that it's my destiny. I was, I think music would have found me regardless. But as a little girl, I was very shy and quiet. And my mom was looking for ways to draw me out. So she enrolled me in theater classes, like at little, community group theater and music classes. And that helped to bring me out. And then there was music always in our house, back in the day. I may be aging myself a bit, but on the phonograph.
Phonograph.
On the record player. There'd be music playing all the time. And I don't know, music for me always stimulated my imagination and always brought me energy. So that was one of my mother's ways of getting me to do the chores around the house. And she'd always have great music playing. So while I'm dusting in the living room, there's Count Basie Orchestra, or there's Nancy Wilson, or one of my favorites, Barbra Streisand. There's just so many, Duke Ellington Orchestra, Ella Fitzgerald. That was what I would hear, Aretha Franklin. That's what I would hear on the phonograph every day while I was doing my chores. And so I grew up listening to great music. And the great music helped to bring me out of my shy comfort zone and make me, or encourage me to be more willing to express what was on the inside. And share it with others on the outside. It became one of my major ways of communicating.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you find the fact that growing up as a child that was introspective, introverted, that you find yourself now reverting back to some of those tendencies?
I definitely am an introvert or a partial introvert by nature, meaning that I know I refuel best on my own. So that's part of the definition of being an introvert. So I definitely know that I need those alone times. It's actually critical to my being as a creative artist. But I am that kind of split, whereas I need the time to refuel and to draw from my inspiration on my own, but then I also need to share it.
Right.
And then I need to collaborate. And then I actually need to go back and take it in.
No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it becomes a cycle for me. So yes, I do have an introverted pattern, but I am also, when I'm out, I'm out. I'm social. I'm not like afraid to talk. I'm not I'm not hard to get along with. I enjoy people. I enjoy the interaction, and interplay is
Mm-hmm.
very, very important to me, whether it's on the stage with other musicians or with my audience or with my fans. I do greatly desire and enjoy that. And I have a lot to say and a lot to hear.
Right.
It's very important for me. So I am an introvert and an extrovert in a certain way. I can't
Right.
remember what that name is, the one that's in between. It's like a little bit of both. But I think that's what
Ambivert.
I,
It's the
yeah,
ambivert.
ambivert. Yeah, I'm an
Yeah.
ambivert.
Yep. It's ambivert. And the only reason why I know that is because
Yeah.
people who watch the show know sometimes I talk about it, but in my day job, uh, I am an organizational development and leadership expert. So I
Oh,
am a certified Myers-Briggs facilitator.
oh
So,
wow.
mhm.
Great.
And so I've been teaching Myers-Briggs for,
Yeah.
oh gosh, 15 years probably. Since
Mm.
2000, I don't know if uh, it's no funny math, 2006, whatever that equals up to, that's when I got
Close.
certified. And I always find it interesting right, because when you think about, so here I go, I got to make sure I don't really do this part, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway.
Yeah,
When
please.
you think about the dichotomy of introvert versus extrovert, right?
Mm.
There's a scale that we all fall on. Sometimes you can be highly introverted, sometimes you can be highly extroverted, depending
Yeah.
on when you take that particular assessment where you fall. And some people fall way on the end of extroversion or way on the end of introversion. But a
Yeah.
lot of times people kind of fall almost in the middle, right? Kind of like yourself. You need that alone time where you can regenerate and rejuvenate and take in your own thoughts and be by yourself and re-energize. But you also need the other side, which is to be around people, to collaborate, and you get
Yeah.
energized by those individuals as well.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm gonna say about that before I even get into the whole
No,
right,
I love
because then I feel like I'm teaching a Myers Briggs class, but
that. Right.
but I always
We'll
find it
we'll see how
interesting.
later because I love
Yeah,
it.
I always find it interesting because a lot of musicians, a lot of music
Mhm.
creators, usually are introverted. They're very
Mhm.
introspective individuals, uh,
Mhm.
and sometimes, like myself, I am hugely extroverted now, but
Mhm.
I was a very
Like
shy
it.
kid growing up.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
have that. Yeah.
hmm
So
And
you know what I mean when I
I
say
do.
that.
I do. And I find the commonality that music creatives have is that a
Mhm.
lot of them are, they have that part of them that's usually introverted, that they
Mhm.
need that time. But when
Yeah.
they are on stage, when they are creating, they can come out and be and exude that extroversion when it is needed. So,
Yeah.
yes. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
So,
So
yeah. So,
music helped me a lot to
mm-hmm.
come out of myself and to be able to. There was always so much going on inside, but to be able to have uh, a way to express what was on the inside, because I have always been that being, even as a young girl, that had a lot of inner life, you know, and there was a need for an outlet. So music became that.
Yeah. Music definitely is an outlet for a lot of people. It was an outlet for me growing up. Um, my story of growing up with music and just why it was an escape for me was traumatic. So,
Mm.
one day I'll share my story if I ever get interviewed by anybody. Right? I'm always the one who's
Maybe
usually getting.
maybe I'll interview you.
Hey, I'm usually the one that's doing all the interviewing and asking all the questions. So, but if I ever tell my story about why music means so much to me, then I think people will understand why. But it is based off of a traumatic experience, that why I cling to music so deeply.
Mm.
But I find that regardless of if it's a traumatic experience or if it's a deep connection and love for music, uh,
Mhm.
you know, it brings a certain amount of comfort and joy and escape, which is why I got into it, an escape
Mhm.
for people to gravitate toward it. And so
Yeah.
I think we got to go back for a second.
Okay.
For those of you who do not know what a phonograph is, right? it's, it's like a record player,
Yeah.
right? But with a big thing on top, like
Yes.
a
Yes.
big um,
The
phone. I don't even
phone.
know. I don't even know what it's called. What is it?
Yeah.
What is
That
that
cone.
thing? the
Oh,
cone
no.
phone. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah,
Um, and that's what the sound will come out of. And yes,
yeah.
um, I didn't have
It
one of
was
those
an
growing up.
antique in our house, though, just so I'm not trying to make myself seem a lot older than I am. It was an antique in our house.
Like we had a regular record player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had a regular
right.
record player too. I
That's
didn't
right.
come up. I wasn't born to the time of the phonograph. Just so we're
That's right. That's right. We had 8 tracks. We
clear.
had 45s.
Yeah,
Right.
45,
That's right.
43.
I'm telling my
LP.
age a little bit too, but
Yeah.
so yes. Um, and it's it's just crazy how music has advanced so much from where we used to be to where we are now. I mean, when you wanted to listen to music, you had to listen to music on a record player. And that was the only way that you got music. The way
Mm-hmm.
music was made was with real instruments and
Yeah.
recorded to tape and all those different things. Now we're in this digital age where you can stream music anywhere in the world, and it's just the
It's
advancement.
extraordinary. It's extraordinary.
It's extraordinary. Next, you're gonna get music in space, or
Yeah,
they gotta take it to another level. We need
yeah,
another whatever that next level is. I want to be a part of it. I want to be in on that in the very beginning, so I can reap the benefits of whatever
yeah,
that new thing is going to be.
yeah.
So yes, so talk to me about how did you get the name, the
Mine.
Divine Miss
Oh,
Klein? Well, no, not your name. I mean, somebody named you your name, right? Whether it's your mom or
my
your
mom
dad,
and my
or
daddy.
or your grandma, somebody like that, right?
Well,
But
my
no.
middle name is my mother's middle name, so I got my
Oh.
name a little bit from her, and I use my full name because she's passed on now, and
Mm,
I keep her with me. Her name was Joyce Marie, and so I'm Sharon Marie, and I
right.
grew up. She gave me her middle name.
Mm,
The Divine Miss Klein, that started like somewhat after college. People people just started calling me that because when they hear me sing, it's like dreamy. They felt that it was dreamy. And also, I was a little sassier. And so they're like, like Sarah Vaughan is divine.
hey,
She
she look at the names, right?
yeah,
Look at the
yeah. So
names.
I
Yes.
took it as a compliment,
Right.
but I do have a good friend of mine who books me still. I've known him for like
Mm.
12 years, 15 years. That's all he calls me is Divine. Hello, Divine. How you doing,
Hello,
Divine?
Divine.
Yeah. So you could have worse nicknames, but but people but people who heard me sing, mostly friends, they really they started that. They started,
Mm,
it stuck with me.
the Divine Miss Klein.
Yeah.
Right. So when you go out and perform and you're on stage, is that how you're introduced?
Yes, it depends on who's doing it and the venue,
Mm-hmm.
but often they'll say the divine Miss Klein, Sharon Marie Cline, the divine Miss Klein.
The
Is what
Divine Miss
they'll
Klein. Okay.
say.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very unique name because it rhymes, right?
Mhm,
The Divine Miss Klein. But
mhm.
two, the divinity. There's a certain spirituality with it, a certain angelicness. I have a habit of just making up words, so we just go with it, right?
Oh, I
Uh,
do too.
Angelicness with it.
Yeah,
When you think of divine, right? You think of heavenly. And
yeah.
I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, from what I heard, oh man, I can see why the name fits. I have a question I'm going to ask in just a little bit that is going to explain why I believe she has that name, the divine Miss Klein. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. I don't want to get to that question just yet.
I'm
Uh,
excited.
but yes, so Sarah Vaughan is one of your, and Tony Bennett, and there's a list of people. But I mentioned Sarah Vaughan because there's a name commonality between her and I that
Yeah.
exists,
Right.
and somewhere in there, she's supposed to be like a cousin or somewhere in there to me. Um,
Really?
yeah, my relatives will need to clarify that. But for
Yeah.
years, I've just heard that I was, or that we were, that she was my grandfather's second, third cousin, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So who
Hey, let's
knows?
go with it. I like
I
that.
I don't know. But
Oh,
she was a fabulous singer though. So
oh my God. Yes.
oh yeah.
He's definitely, I call them my mentors.
Mm,
Those that have passed on that I've listened to growing up and, you know, work, Sometimes in my life, I have emulated her. At this point, I've developed my own style, but I grew up listening to her. I studied her, what she did, like do- dove into what I felt her motivations were for how she approached notes and phrases and song choices. So she, and back phrasing, or when she's right, swinging the way she could swing too, and the way she explore her range. I have a large range as well, and she was one of my major teachers, even though I never
Mm-hmm.
met her, on um, finding the courage to explore that and
Mm-hmm.
display the like really lean in to parts
Right.
of my voice, because Sarah Vaughan certainly leans in, so
Right.
and she's a major influence and a major mentor for
Mm.
me.
Well,
Yeah.
good. Yes, I like that. I like the when it comes to music, there is a
Mhm.
sense of artistry
Mhm.
that needs to be explored when you are creating music,
Mhm.
right? So that leaning into the music, the way that you sing certain notes and phrases, and the way that they move and
Mhm.
fluctuate and do all these different things.
Yeah.
I myself personally think it's a lost art. I don't think a lot of people have artistry. I think a lot of people are are good at creating music, but I don't think
Yeah.
they're good at artistry.
Yeah. That is,
Hmm.
I kind of agree with you. I try not to focus on that, but I do agree
Right.
with you that there's a lot of music that's just being made that is just like creating, going with the beats and, let's pump it out kind of thing. And it is a challenge for me, because I approach even just my daily life as an artist.
Mm,
So everything I do
mm,
is from that expression, meeting the intellect, meeting the soul, and then the reveal or the communication of it.
right.
Artistry has a lot to do with how we communicate, and some music, especially today, isn't about the depth of a soul communication. It's more about
Mm-mm.
just production. I
Right.
almost didn't even have words for what it. Just producing
Right.
something.
Right.
It's like, does it groove? That might
Hmm.
be thing, or is how out there that their artistry gets expressed in a different way, about like
Right.
how many layers I can add and what else I can bring into
Mm,
the song. But it isn't as much about that heart and soul
right.
communication,
Right.
and that's where I really believe. Well, my artistry comes from there anyway.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I can tell that based upon just listening to the music that you've created, the amount of heart and soul you put into it, and the amount of flavor that's into the songs that you have from a vocal perspective, which is
Mhm.
so appreciated. I always say, and for me, this is why I always talk about it, because I'm always talking to music creatives about how to, one, differentiate themselves from everybody else, right? I'm all
Mhm.
about that. I'm all about what is your differentiating factor? What sets you apart? If you're like the other person, then why do I need you?
Yeah.
And I mean, because if you sound like this person, I'd rather have that person. I don't
Right.
need you if you sound like that person. I'd rather just have that person.
Yeah.
I'm always talking about differentiation. I'm
Mhm.
always talking about branding and doing those different types of things. I'm always about growth and development of people, which is why I do organizational development, right?
Right.
And I'm always about that. And so if you are just like this person, then I don't, I myself personally, I don't need for you to, I need for you to be you. There's only
Yeah.
one unique you. So
I agree.
be that person, right? Because
Yeah.
you will go so
Good.
much further in your career
Yeah.
just by being
Being.
you. That's right.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so you started talking about some of your you kind of segue into talking about some of your challenges. So for you personally, what has been some of the major challenges that you faced, and what did you learn from them?
Well, interestingly enough, it is part of that finding my identity as an artist, which is obviously, goes without saying, a continually evolving thing. But although I really appreciate you saying that you look for that individuality, there's a lot of people in the industry that want you to be like so and so. Give me the singer who sounds like blah blah blah. And I've never been a singer who could line up with emulating someone else. I don't think I do that well.
Mm.
I'm not, that's not my skill, is to try to be Aretha Franklin, or to try to be Natalie Cole, or try to be Ella Fitzgerald, or try to be Sarah Vaughan, or try to be Diana Krall. I can't try to be them. I
Mm.
can learn from them, but whenever it comes out, it's always through the filter of who I am.
That's
You
right.
know, there are many artists who do a great Aretha, who do Aretha tribute shows, who do Sarah Vaughan tribute shows,
Mm.
who do all sorts of people, Natalie Cole tribute shows. So it was a challenge for me, is was being told who I should be, and don't sing that way. Only sing in your high register. Only sing in your low register.
Mm.
Don't do that. Don't where get rid of your vibrato. All these kind of things. Where I'm like, for a while I was like, huh, deer in the headlights, just trying and then I try, and then there be times when I sounded good at it, and it
Mm-hmm.
was a thing, but it wasn't. It's just not the way I grew into wanting to express myself. I
Mm.
don't want to express myself by someone telling me to be like someone else, or do someone else. Why don't you do those songs? Why don't you do these songs? Well, I do the songs that turn me on, that I that meet where my heart is on my journey, because I have a whole platform that I call Navigate with Your Heart, and it's my philosophy is that the journey of an artist, a journey of a human artist, is
Mm-hmm.
to identify and find out who you really authentically are. And then your job really is in this world is to share that, share
Mm-hmm.
that the individual's ray of light. So being Aretha Franklin, as amazing as she is not my ray of light. So why would I try to walk around emulating her and doing all of her songs when
That's right.
there are things that I need to develop and bring to this world, because we all have our light to shine. We all have our flavor to bring, and it's needed. So it took me that was one of my hardest challenges, is actually being able to own that the way I own it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I went down a lot of different little paths. And jazz speaks to me in a way that R&B and pop don't. Now,
Mm.
doesn't mean that I don't have a very soulful and flavor, and
Right.
I bring that kind of layer into jazz,
That's right.
um, and I also bring some R&B into jazz, but I do it my way. I do it for me. So that was one of the hardest challenges, was finding the courage um, to start really navigating with my own heart and creating from that space. One, and two, to not be deterred
Mm.
from doing that.
That's right.
That was a challenge, and I'm still evolving in it, definitely. But I do feel like I've found my voice at this point.
Well, that's
So
good.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
I think because people want to put people in the box,
Yeah,
right? They want to, oh, I want you to fit the image that I have for you
yeah,
musically.
yeah,
And that's what I think you should sound like. Whether it's
yeah,
coming from record labels,
right,
whoever the case, oh, and it could be also promoters,
yeah,
venue managers, etc. They want you. I want you to sound like this because that's
mm,
who I want to find the most appealing, And so that's what they look for. But I don't like that. I like people to be themselves. I want to hear you, hear your music,
yeah,
hear your artistry, hear your heart through
yeah,
your music. That's right.
yeah,
So you started so early. You were saying something about this range, right? This
yeah,
yeah, this range. You know,
yeah,
you are in a group of people that is a rare group of people. I went and researched, and
oh yeah,
it is a rare group of people that fall into this five
yeah,
octave vocal range group.
yeah,
Right? It's not a lot of people.
yeah,
Um, you have Mariah Carey's in there,
yes.
right? Because
Just
man,
compared to her the
right?
other night. Yeah,
Oh, you were?
yeah, just because the range is so, and there are notes that I can hit that are
Mm.
quite ethereal. You know, they're
Right.
maybe it's in the stratosphere. You know,
Stratosphere, right? They're
yeah,
out there, up there.
yeah,
So people like Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, um, who else did I write? Prince. Prince is
yeah,
also a five vocal range creator, and
yeah.
I found interesting. Axl Rose is in that same category.
Really? Well, I guess I could
Really?
see that. Yeah, I
I
guess I
could
could see
then
that.
once I
Yeah,
found that out, I could see that.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, yeah, Axl Rose absolutely is in that category. There are
yeah,
very, very few six octave. There's
mhm,
probably, from what I was looking at in my research, maybe three people.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe three people.
yeah,
But most people have a two
mhm,
octave, a three
yeah,
octave, right?
mhm, yeah,
And so whether it's your Ariana Grande or your Beyonce or your whoever they are, I'll just use those. Those they live in the 2 to 3 octave range.
yeah,
You
mhm,
live in the five
yeah.
octave range. And I
Mhm.
was like,
Which
oh,
makes me unusual again for people.
that's right. Because they're like, wait a minute. So she sings in. So okay. So what is your octave range? Let's talk about that.
Meaning, well, I have. You mean what's my lowest note? You mean?
Sure. Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
go with that. Up to the
Um,
highest.
well, it changes,
Hmm.
uh, but F below F, low F, let's say, and then above high C, I can hit the D above high C, but I definitely have not just the high
Wow.
C. Like there's the middle C, then there's high C, and then there's I can't remember what is that other C. I that's just above that. So it's usually C sharp or D, depending on the day that I can touch on that.
Ah.
It's
Yeah.
not my sweet spot, but it is definitely effective uh, when I use it.
Hmm.
When I yeah.
So how did you develop your voice in order to be able to float between that range? Like, what were some of the things that you did in order to be able to do that? I mean, I know the voice has its own limitations, but through practice, there are certain things you're able to do.
Well, vocalizing, vocal practice, and to be honest, I don't want to. Nothing against teachers because the coaches and teachers are very important. Um, but I found my depth of range after study. And then now I go back and I coach with people and I share my range with them, but it's not always encouraged. They encourage you to find that sweet spot and stay there. I listen to so many different artists, and like I said, I use Sarah Vaughan as one of the examples. I love the idea that she and Carmen McRae could just live down there. And I'm like, how do I get my soprano, mezzo soprano voice to do that? I just practiced and practiced. I learned some breathing techniques that helped me relax my
Mm,
that aperture there because I always kind of had the upper range, and then I started to push beyond my upper range. People like Mariah Carey encouraged me. I don't know if you know who Lisa Fisher is. Do you know who she is?
mm,
She's an
probably.
extraordinary singer. She's probably a six octave range person.
Mm.
That woman surprises you with what comes out of her mouth. But it just knowing what's possible, it was like a mind over matter kind of thing for me. And then manifesting the ability to do it. But it takes practice, it
Mhm.
takes confidence, and it takes a certain level of relaxation and knowing of your instrument.
Mm.
I don't ever force my instrument. I allow it, and it kind of comes. The ability to hit certain notes, it's always connected to the emotion or the communication that I'm trying
Right.
to make when I hit those low notes. Because I'm like, you're like sugar on my
Mm.
lips, because that's how it feels. And so you're like sugar on my lips. It just
Mm.
needs to be down there in that
Right. Anita
low
Baker
end.
range.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah, it just has to be down there.
Right.
So it's connected to what I'm expressing to you. Yeah. I
Yeah.
just happen to have a wide range of expression.
Yeah. And that's awesome because it can take you from, when you're communicating music, for emotionally, and you're making that emotional connectedness, those ranges have a different feeling and
Yes.
connectedness to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the Anita Baker song? Um, oh gosh, was it Sweet Love? No, is that the name of this?
Yeah, that
Yes.
is
Oh gosh,
yeah,
like when you
yeah,
listen to that song, her range on that, just the low end
yeah,
is. I'm like, oh wow, like
yeah,
that's. But it's the communication and the
mm,
message that she's conveying
yeah.
through the song, the lyrics, and also that
The
vocal
melodic line,
register.
yeah,
Yeah, oh gosh, yes, and the
line.
way that it just flows. Yes, uh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that is, and it brings excitement to the music as well.
mm,
Because if you're just listening to the music and you and it's sounding monotone ish,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Or three notes, you know.
Oh yeah, like just three notes, and so you're just like, okay, I'm drifting off to somewhere else, and then all of a sudden, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, like where did
Yeah.
that come? It reminds me kind of like one of my favorite movies is Sister Act 2, right?
Oh yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
so the
Mhm.
scene where the guy from I forgot the group he actually was in real life. Um,
Mm.
City High, I think is the group. I think he was in City High. That was the name of the group, I believe. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong when you see this interview. Uh, but when he sang that note,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna do it. But when he sang that, when Whoopi Goldberg had everybody up there in the choir, and he was singing, oh gosh, what's the name of the song?
Yeah, I don't remember
Anyway,
that.
he was singing
Yeah.
that song, and he hit that high note, and Whoopi Goldberg turned around like, "What in the world?" Like it surprises you, it catches you when you are singing notes in a way that people unexpectedly uh, are, I guess I'll say unexpectedly listening for it, right? Because
Mhm.
they really don't know. You're just bringing that energy and excitement. Kind of like the same thing in the world of training. And
Yeah,
so if I'm saying things in a really soft way, I'm
yeah,
really getting you to listen. But I
yeah.
can add energy and excitement to my voice, and that, oh, something's going on. Something must be important, which is why
Mhm.
he's talking this way. And so
Mhm.
I think that's amazing to have that vocal range. Um,
Yeah, thank you.
so since we're talking about vocal ranges and stuff, let's
Mhm.
talk about. I have a whole bunch of other questions, but I'll ask some of them after we talk about some of your music. And so,
Wonderful.
yes. So let's talk about your music. Let's talk about your projects that you're working on.
Uh-huh.
Let's talk. We get a chance to listen to some of them,
Yeah.
and then we can talk about the meaning
Okay.
behind those as well. So
Okay.
let me get myself on my end ready for that,
Okay,
and
cool.
then we can get. I need to fix my mic though. I don't know. My mic is acting weird.
You sound good.
Okay, good. No, I'm sitting here watching it just move back. I'm
Oh,
like, let me
okay.
do that. All right. So we're gonna listen to some of it because YouTube has this weird thing, of course, right? It's
Yeah.
the oh, you're listening to stuff and then so
Oh, yeah. I
right.
get it.
so so the first one I want to listen to of we'll listen to part of is "Close to You."
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. All right. All
Okay,
right.
cool.
So here we go. We're gonna listen to some of it. Make sure it comes through.
Mhm.
Listen to this voice.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by?
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you.
First of all, I just got to say, the voice is amazing. Amazing. I love that's amazing. I love just the way that you're singing, and all of a sudden it turns into like a whispery notes, and it's just, oh gosh, it's just the divine Miss Klein, right? Yes.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to hear what you want to say about Divine. But we'll
No, that's why. That's why I was saying about divine. I mean, listen to. I mean, you know your voice, but for everybody else, listen to that voice. Oh my gosh, it takes you to that place. You want to sit back and just. Hmm.
yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. I'm so
yes.
glad.
So
Yes. Yeah.
fantastic voice. That's right.
Thank
So
you.
so of course the song close to you,
Mhm.
right? So you can talk about that.
Yeah.
And what was your motivation behind doing that song?
Well, that is a Carpenter's tune. Bacharach wrote it. Um, I do this thing with certain popular songs from way back when. I called it deranging. We call them Sharon Marie Cline derangements, which just really means I bring like a fresh energy and perspective to it. And we kind of play with the structure of the song, a different point of view. So obviously, that song is about love and being close to someone, but it's not just about the bubblegum la la la. I just want to, it's I'm snuggled up close to you. I love you, love you. It has so many layers from my perspective. It's about the love that's longing, the love that is possible that you're wanting to create and manifest,
Mm,
and it's about the love that is present and really appreciating and wanting to wrap your arms around that love. So I wanted to bring all those elements to the song.
mm,
So me and my music director of the time, Rich Eames, we're great music collaborators. I come and I bring him all my ideas, and they're usually like heart intellectual ideas. I'm not saying, do a 5/4 measure in the beginning of the song. I'm like, no, it opens with this dreamy kind of longing. Then it's this kind of invitation, like you're just drawing them in. So then we kind of start playing with
mm,
how to express the melody in with the goal that I have in mind. And so that's how that our arrangement of that came about, was us collaborating on what we wanted to say with the song. And that's what I like to do, those derangements that way.
Arrangements.
Yeah, because
Mm,
you know musical arrangement. People all
right.
take a song and they'll arrange it, and they'll play with some
Right.
of the notes and maybe change a chord here or there. I think we take it a step further, is we dearrange it, to communicate hopefully what the original creator wanted, and then more, and
Mm,
freshen it up and bring a new perspective.
hmm.
So far, no one's complained. So
No, I mean, what they're going to complain about? That sounds amazing.
yeah,
They
so
better not. That
that's
sounds great.
thank you. Yeah,
Well, good,
yeah. So that
good.
drew me. Yeah, that's what drew me to that.
Mm, okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, I thought that when I first heard it, I was like, oh, the voice. Listen to that. This,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, so the next song. I'm not gonna tell the name of the songs. I'm just gonna maybe I should, but um,
We could
let's
say
see.
after.
I can say after. Okay,
Yeah.
where's I saw this one, but now I don't see it.
Yeah.
Mm, hold on one sec. I'm gonna find it. I know
Yeah.
it's on here. If I can't, I know where to go. Okay, I don't see it on here.
That's weird.
It's oh no,
Maybe.
no no no. I know why it's not on here because it's not out yet.
How do you know that when it's not out yet? You're something else. I gotta find out where your intel from.
That's right. It's not out yet. It's not out
Yeah.
yet. But I do want to learn more about. Uh, well, you tell me
Mhm.
all
What?
about it.
Oh. Well, that's a Michael Frank song. He's a cool jazz guy. I am very drawn to that, like sultry, sexy kind of um, beat
Mm.
and laid back expression of music. So I was really drawn to do Tell Me All About It. I also love the Natalie Cole version of it. I don't know if you've heard that. So, yeah, I just, to me, it was like, I don't know, it's one of my sweet spots. So
Mm.
that was what drew me to recording it is, and frankly, yeah, that's what I'm all about love. So, I mean, the first line, love, when you, when you touch, I shiver, just body language. And you feel it. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to
That's
sing
right.
that song?
That's right.
So I wanted to bring my own, like, obviously, I'm really good with infusing emotion and meaning into a lyric. And
Mm.
so, like I said, to me, it's all about the communication. So I sing it as if I'm speaking it, as if I'm actually saying something to you, not as if I'm singing a song. It's
Right.
like, that's what love does to me, you
Mm.
know? Touch me and I shiver.
Mm.
Body language, it's not,
That's right.
you
Body
all, you
language.
all need a song that,
Hmm.
says
That's right.
that.
Yes, that's right. I was like, why can't I find it? And I was like, oh, that's
Oh,
because
it's
it
not,
hasn't. It's
yeah,
not out yet.
yeah,
So it will be sometime whenever
yeah.
she. But
Yeah,
yeah.
we're looking to release in the fall. I
Okay.
think it might get pushed a little, just depending on like schedule. I'm starting to book more live events and not being able to get back into the studio right now, which I am not complaining about at all. This is a good problem,
Hmm.
so it may be pushed to next year, which is might be better anyway. But
Okay.
um, yeah, we have an album coming out soon.
Hmm. Can't
Yeah,
wait. It's gonna
yeah,
have those sultry, soulful,
yep, yep,
illustrious, just
yeah,
melodic, heavenly voice on there. Yes,
yeah.
so that's good. So I'm gonna segue for a moment because you just talked about performing live, right?
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
so for your live performances, you call them love fests.
Yes. Yeah.
So what was the meaning behind calling them love fest?
Yeah. Um, because it was a conscious decision, because everything I do must begin and end with love. That's my moniker. And I don't just mean, ooh, daisies and sunshine, but I mean the depth of expression from the heart, what touches and moves people, what brings them joy, what sparks a memory, how, what journey we can go through together.
Mm,
And I found through just putting it out there, people were responsive. And that we all started to feed off of each other. I'll put something out, they'll hear something, I get a great response, which encourages me to push a little further or go in another direction. And at the end of every show, we've all been through an experience that some of them is, wow, now I'm thinking, have I lost? Or I'm appreciating this fella or this girl right next to me. Or I just feel better about life. And that's what a love fest is for me. So I want to bring to my shows that possibility of celebrating love. And
mm.
that's what love fest.
Okay, I like that.
Mm,
Yes, love fest. So,
yeah.
everybody just know that it's about music. Okay, I know how y'all think out there in this world, but it's
Yeah. It's a purity of love,
that's right.
which has many, many colors.
Right.
Many,
Right.
many
Right.
colors, many, many ways of expression. But it's the impulse of connection with others, with self, with your source,
Mm,
whatever that means, with your environment, that sparks the joy that
mm,
helps us move forward. Think
right.
better of each other, think better of ourselves, create possibility. That's the love I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All right. I like that. I
yeah.
like that. All right. So let's get back into
Yeah.
the next song,
Okay.
and then you, of course, I'll play it, and then you can tell us the motivation and the meaning behind,
Sure.
behind this song right here.
Mhm. The two of us, the quiet sea, a bossa nova in the breeze. Feel the rays of sunlight washing over me. I feel laughter in the waves rushing toward us as children play, trying to race the water as it sweeps the shore away. How lovely, this is where I wanna be, here with you so close to me, caressed by nature's sweet, sweet splendor, in your arms so strong and tender, surrendering to your sweet charms. The language of the sea transforms, cast away reality and look to the sea. Sweet.
I wish there was a way to kind of just fade it out, but yes. So yes, so that song is called
This is where I wanna be.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk about the meaning and motivation behind that amazing song.
Thank you. Well, that is an original. I wrote that song with Rich Eames, who's my co-creator on that song. And so, and that is also the title of my 2016 album, This Is Where I Want to Be. As a songwriter, I believe you create from what's in your heart or in your environment, from what you know and what you see. So that song was born by me laying on the beach and just breathing in and out and absorbing the environment around me. So I was literally listening to the sounds and the music of the waves coming in the shore and back out. And I noticed the music in that. And that gave me pause and opportunity to breathe. Then I could hear the children playing. And it was just, I mean, as I wrote it was like the tapestry of that is what I was experiencing.
Mm.
And everything that I heard or saw, like I would look up and then I would see like off in the distance, because this was, I was in the Caribbean. So I could see like trees moving, and then I was like, they're actually dancing, the tree, the leaves, they're creating their own like rhythm there. And it was a really kind of out of body, amazing experience that actually helped me relax more into myself. And that's why it was like, it was you and me and nature. And that's all we need, because that's what takes us away into our imagination. It allows us to come back and appreciate. So this is where I want to be, is just in that moment, appreciating all of that around me. And it
Wow.
was, yeah, and writing that and having that and that all around me was like a gift to a songwriter. If you're
That's right.
if you're observant, often we're in experiences and we don't even take the time to really breathe in what's around us. But I was lucky enough to actually take it all in and allow it to help me create something beautiful that every time I hear it, I get to go back there. And I started smiling when you started playing it. It was okay.
You find yourself back where you want to be.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right. That's right.
And I have the opportunity to bring what that feeling tone is into this present moment. Like,
Mhm.
my apartment in, in Los Angeles, I can still, I can bring that feeling to now.
That's right.
Um, yeah. So,
Wow. Yeah. It's amazing when you think of places that you've been and the connectedness between that place and the music that you create, uh, and just what we have with that. I mean, we can all think about where we were when we heard certain songs,
yeah. Yeah.
right? Or what we were doing when we heard certain songs, and they bring back a certain reminiscent with it, a certain memory, a
Yeah.
certain joy, or sometimes it could be a certain pain, tied
Hmm.
to those songs. I think that's important to have that inspiration to be able to do that. So, which is the question I'll ask. And what other ways do you find inspiration and creativity for the songs that you write?
I meditate a lot. I meditate every day. And sometimes I will get an inspiration or a thought that lands. Almost like it's a guidance, It's a guidance from my higher self, from my heart and my soul and the divine. Other than Miss Divine, the other divine, that
Right.
so we don't confuse the two. That I'll get ideas from there, um, precious ideas. They almost always work. you know, they always work when they come from that space. I'll get them from collaborating with other people. They'll share an idea and it causes me to think, or it touches me in a certain way, and then I'll offer my thought, and then we usually create something greater than which either one of us brought to the table, because we're willing to receive and to hear what the other one has to offer, and then we just feed upon it. So those are the ways in which I gather my inspiration: through meditation, my connection with higher self and source, through communication and collaboration with others. Give me great ideas, and then just adventuring out. I like to take trips by myself. I guess that's part of being that introvert, and just being in my own skin in a beautiful location. Something will land, an idea will land, or a thought will happen. A thought will
Mm,
occur, a feeling will happen, and I want to explore it. Yeah.
hmm Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. I like it. I like that because you're just not cooped up in the studio trying to write songs and come
Would
up with
never.
melodies. Right.
I can't work that way at all. And if someone tell me write a song, not gonna happen.
Right. Let's go into the studio and let's write
Yeah.
a song, right? It's like, no, I want to experience life. And from
Yeah.
that is where
Yeah.
your music and your inspiration, creativity comes from.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Whether I'm writing an original or treating a standard a certain way, it
Mm,
comes from that inspiration of how I want to tell the story.
right.
If it's words that someone else wrote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. I definitely get that. Well,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
As we lead into the next song that I want to talk about. So once again, I will play it and then we'll talk about it. All right, so here we go.
Oh, ZHEEN-zhee, if I only had words, I would say all the beautiful things that I see when you're with me. Oh my, ZHEEN-zhee. Ooh, ZHEEN-zhee. Like the song in the wind of the trees, that's how my heart is singing. ZHEEN-zhee, happy ZHEEN-zhee, when you're with me.
All righty. Yes. So that song is called
ZHEEN-zhee.
ZHEEN-zhee. All
Yes,
right.
it's
And
by the
now
Portuguese
I probably didn't say it correctly, but
it's Dindi. It's a
okay.
it's actually spelled Dindi, and it's Portuguese. It's written by Antonio Carlos Jobim, very, very, very famous Brazilian
Mm,
artist, composer. And I did it my own way, uh, as usual. Um, and that's a song that is another example of me creating expression. For me, that song is all about the fresh first blushes of love, falling in love, romantic love. So, when everything is like so beautiful around you. There's a beautiful verse that I sing in live concert that he wrote. It's like the sky is so vast and the trees are so green and the air just smells so beautiful because everything around you in nature is just so much more. It's heightened when you are in that newness of love. So for me, it's like such a beautiful example of romantic love. So I sing it in that way, as if as I'm singing the song, I'm discovering and sharing
mm,
what that love feels like,
right.
and what I'm saying to my lover is like, oh my ZHEEN-zhee, you know,
Mm,
I love you more each day. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And that's what that song means to me. And my job as an artist is to bring you right there too, with the sound of my voice and the way that I phrase.
mm.
And I love doing that in that song.
Yeah, yeah, and that was good. Yeah, the I'm gonna make up another word. I already know it. I was gonna say the vocalstry. That is
Yeah, I love it. That's a good word.
maybe that's a new word.
It's
Vocalstry.
a new one.
I got my
You need
own.
to talk it like that.
I got my own dictionary. Vocalstry. Right. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna write that down because I'm gonna
You
put that on the
should.
shirt somewhere. Yeah. Let me
Yeah.
see. Hold on. I got. Mm-hmm.
Vocal artistry. It is. It's vocalistry. Yeah, love it.
People think I'm playing. I'm
Yeah.
I'm 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 writing that down, and you're gonna see it on the shirt somewhere.
Yeah, I
Vocalistry,
love it.
and it's gonna be
I,
have like. No,
I'll buy one.
I'm not even gonna
I'll buy
tell anybody what it's gonna look like, but you'll see
Yeah.
in soon. I'm all about that. So we'll see what comes up with that vocalistry. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, Genji,
ZHEEN-zhee. Yeah.
Genji,
Yeah. And it's
Genji.
weird because it's spelled Dindi.
Right,
But in Portuguese, it's the
right.
D is. Yeah.
Which is why I didn't say the name
Yeah.
because I'd be like, yeah, the next song I'm gonna listen to is Dindi,
Yeah.
and it's in
You
like,
don't
nah,
know how
that's
many
wrong.
people, even musicians, they all say Dindi, and until I correct them.
Right. Hey, can you sing Dindi? Like,
Yeah.
that's not
Let's
even
do
how you
that.
say it. So no.
Yeah. No, I cannot. I cannot sing Dindi.
Right, right. Dindi. No. So, so for you in your career and making the music that you're making, uh, what do you think has been the biggest lesson you've learned this thus far?
To stay with it, to
Mm,
not give up, and to keep finding ways to fuel my love and my light,
mm,
uh, to keep expressing. Because what I sing and the way I sing and the styles that I share are not always very popular with like the masses, but there is an audience for me. So, and there's a strong one. But I, I work hard not to get caught up in uh, the fact that maybe it's not for everyone, and I need to adapt, like I talked about earlier. The biggest lesson is to keep doing and sharing my very unique ray of light uh, through song and not giving up. Yeah. And
yeah,
more people are digging it.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's
I'm in a
right.
good mood right now. People are digging it. Yay.
That's right. I've always find that there are, no matter what type of music you make, there are people who are going to love your music, and there are people who are not going to like it. Right?
Yeah.
That's just the way that it is going to be. I listened to a guy. I listened to his music. I had him on the show, Stephen Blaine,
Okay.
up in New York.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Stephen Blaine up in New York is a pop Americana artist. Now, I don't listen to pop Americana,
Yeah.
but I can tell you when I heard his album, I was like, "Oh wow,
Yeah.
this this is awesome. This is an actual awesome body of work."
Yeah.
And if we just give people the room to be themselves, to create
Mhm.
the art that they create, we can find so much value in it. Like I said,
Yeah.
I don't listen to pop Americana, but I will go back and listen to one of his songs,
Yeah.
even though it's not something that I regularly listen to. I
Yeah.
can go, oh, that's a great song. And so now if I can hear a pop Americana song or a jazz song, I can appreciate
Yeah.
the level of artistry, the
Mhm.
creativity in that song, even though I am R&B to the death of me. Like I love R&B too.
Mhm.
That's my
Yeah.
lane.
It's
But
great.
when you have great music, the person is communicating the music in a way that really gravitates you and pulls you into it. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
you're going to love it. You're going to
Yeah.
like it. So
Yeah.
yes, of course, there's more music I could play, like "Sugar on My Lips." Right?
Oh
There's
yeah.
I have like if y'all, I'm gonna play part of it. If y'all haven't heard this song, just oh look, I'm gonna lean in for this. All I'm gonna say, just listen, just listen. You can already tell, right? She about to get you. Sugar on my lips.
Why do I love you so strong? Like a bead of honey, all wrong, but I can't help helping myself, tasting your taste in tiny sips. Baby, you're like sugar on my lips. All through the summer we were so bad, and when it got hotter, so glad. Should've known I couldn't resist, couldn't stop with just one kiss. Baby, you're like sugar on my lips.
Okay, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that, right? Right? You hear that? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You can. That's all I'm saying. Y'all can hear
Thank you.
that. Mm-hmm.
Thanks,
Y'all
B.
hear. Y'all hear. Y'all hear that register, that vocal range, right there. So don't act like y'all don't. So yeah, sugar on my lips. When I heard that, when it got to that sugar, I was like, oh, like
Yeah.
listen to the. That's right. And then the line that you said, uh, taste you in
Tiny.
tiny sips. It's like tiny sips, right? I'm not gonna guzzle you down. Right? I'm
Yeah.
gonna take you in tiny
Yeah. I need
sips.
to savor this.
I need to savor this whole tiny. I'm gonna say that to my wife. Watch,
Yeah.
right, baby. I'm gonna. Never mind. I ain't gonna say that on live to you. You know what I'm saying? Like tiny
I
sips.
got you though.
That's right. So
Yeah.
okay, so talk about that song and then.
It's another one, an original that I wrote with a gentleman named Mark Winkler and Rich Eames. Three of us wrote it. And really, it's just that one, just like sexy, hot, sexy kind of love. You know that summer love when you meet someone and you're like, I know I shouldn't do this,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing it. And
Doing it.
boy, we good.
Hey,
So, you
that's
know,
right.
I write what I learn and I experience. So it was a good moment. It was a good time. It was a
Good
good summer.
time. That's
Yeah.
right. Good summer.
And you can find that song and all of my music, I just want to say, on every digital platform. So those who are interested, you know, I don't know, you can find it on YouTube, Amazon, Spotify, Google,
That's right.
Apple Music, everything, iHeartRadio. I'm really blessed to be, and on Tidal. I'm on Tidal, as well. I'm blessed to be on many, many platforms, so you can find.
That's
if
right.
if you want to have a little sugar on your lips,
Sugar on your lips.
please, please,
That's right.
give
In tiny sips.
yes,
That's right. Right. And you can tell when the song came on, they was about to get it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
You can tell. And then if you go see the video,
yeah,
there is a video to it.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah. Yeah.
Where there's some
It's not
sugars on
X.
people's.
Don't worry, it's not
It's not.
X-rated.
I mean, it's on
But
YouTube, so you
yeah,
know what I'm
it's
saying.
not.
Like so,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, you can see sugar being placed on lips, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you can see it being taken in tiny sips. I'm telling you, you can just go over YouTube and see that,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Right.
So
So whoever the guy was, he was just
yeah, we
yeah.
have fun.
So
We have
yeah.
fun.
I am sure. I am sure. All right. So as we start to wind down, like I said, we've been talking for a while. My last couple of questions to you is, uh, let me make sure I get the question right. It almost left my head. What three things do you wish you knew before getting into this music business?
That stardom is not instantaneous. You don't. Just being good doesn't guarantee anything. Uh, I think is one thing. Um, Two, that you need to be and find your own source of motivation to have the fortitude to keep going. That it's a hard road for women in this industry. One, to be taken seriously as an artist, to for your identity, for you to be able to keep your identity while you're expressing yourself. I mean, it's a challenge for women uh, to not be one, be trying to be taken down a certain road that maybe you don't want, to be taken seriously. Different venues and promoters and all, they tend to want, it's less now, it is less now, but when I started out, it was like, where's the man for me to talk to? Because they just assume you don't know how to take care of business. So those are three things, and to really understand that you're an artist, but it is a business. Those are three things.
It is
Or
a
four.
business.
Yeah,
It
it's a
is a
business.
business.
Yeah,
I don't
got
know
to
why
stay
people don't
grounded.
think it is. I don't know why
Yeah,
people think it's not. It's a
yeah,
business.
it's a business.
Yeah, it's a business first. Like that's at least for me. It's a
Yeah.
business. So in any business, you learn about that business. Like
Mhm.
who starts a business without understanding business?
Right,
I don't know.
right.
And that's what you're starting a
Yeah,
business as
a
an
business.
artist, as a music producer, music creative.
Yeah,
You are a business. So
yeah, yeah.
like Jay-Z,
Hmm.
what did he say? See, here I go. I'm trying to say a phrase, and then the phrase is leaving my head. He said,
Well,
"I don't."
ad lib.
It's something to the effect of, and somebody can tell me if it's right or wrong, but something to the effect of, um, "I'm not a business. I'm not. I don't do something like that." But the whole thing was that he's a businessman. That's the whole gist he
Yeah,
was saying
yeah,
out of the whole
yeah,
thing. But anyway, me trying to come up with phrases don't usually work in that way. But music is a business. That's the most important thing, right? Music is a
business.
business.
And there's
Uh,
a really fine line or balance there, because you don't want to lose your soul, your heart, or your
mm,
artistry to the idea of business. You just have to understand that you're in the framework of a business, and
that's
there's
right.
certain things you got to do and be grounded in
That's right.
moving forward. Nothing just happens.
Nothing just happened. It just doesn't. "Oop,
Yeah,
I'm a star today."
yeah, exactly.
Right? That's right. Wow. So Sharon
Yeah.
Marie Cline, I'm gonna call you the whole name. It's been a pleasure to get to know you, to get to know your music, get to know your story, your adventure in this whole music journey. I
Thank
appreciate you being here. So the
you.
last thing, don't say, go
You
ahead.
enjoyed getting to know you as well.
Yes, yes. So where can people connect with you? Where can they find you? Your social media, websites, all that good stuff.
I'm on most platforms. I'm on Instagram Sharon Marie at Sharon Marie Cline, Facebook at Sharon Marie Cline, Twitter's the Divine Ms. MS Cline. My website is SharonMarieCline.com. You can find me all those places. And I'm going to have a QR code on my website so that if you would like to join my mailing list, I can let you know when I'm in your area, when I'm performing there. So you can find me, put Sharon Marie Cline in there, and you'll find me. But if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'd really love it. Follow me on YouTube as well. Watch my videos, like them, subscribe to my page. I'd really appreciate it.
That's right. And can they join your what's it called? My Heart Song community?
They can.
Even though we haven't talked about it, right?
Yeah, we didn't, but I'd actually love to invite them to, because I'm integrating my heart song with Navigate with Your Heart. So I would like you to join my Navigate with Your Heart page. I have a short form podcast that I do that is also, which is like 5 to 10 minutes. That's what when I say short form, I made up that platform myself. I have no idea. It's like just little snippets, a perspective, shine a little light, a little love, a little encouragement into your day, your week. People really enjoy them. It's called, and it's just to remind us that to be authentically who we are, and that's where it begins, with the heart. We navigate our life. That's how I live my life, navigating with my heart. And I invite and encourage others to do that, because boy, are our lights and our hearts needed in this world right now. So navigatewithyourheart.com. And you'll find where my podcast is on most podcast platforms, but you could also reach it from that page. I'd really appreciate you subscribing and liking those as well.
That's right. So please make sure y'all do, right? We support each other. That is the way that this is done. It's in support of one another. So you want support the Divine Miss Cline, support We Create Music TV. And that's just how it works. We support you. You in return. It's the law of reciprocity, right?
Yes, sir.
So, yes. So, Sharon Marie Cline, if you could just hold on one moment while I close this out, I would greatly appreciate it. All right.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for today.
You are welcome. One moment. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. The Divine Miss Cline. The voice, right? 5-octave range. You can hear it. It's oh gosh, it's amazing, right? I love, right? Y'all know I don't really tell my story in that way. I grew up as a singer, right? I don't sing anymore, but I love singers, people who can really sing and have that range of y'all know Luther Vandross is my favorite singer. So if I could sing like Luther, man. Or if I could sing even as the Divine Miss Cline, because men can have those vocal ranges too. And so either one, I'm golden with either one. But please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you support the Divine Miss Cline. Make sure you go to her social media, check out our music, purchase. Right? I mean, because that's why we do this. Purchase the music, be a blessing to her as well. And of course, be a blessing to us over here at We Create Music TV. Where you can always catch every Monday and every Thursday when we have our interview segments. And you can also check out all the content that we have. All of you know we just did a huge panel on music publishing and how to get your money and how to set up your publishing and make sure it's correct and do all those different things. So check out our content on our page, wecreatemusic.tv. Apologize for the reconstruction. As you see when you go to that page, we are doing some new things, changing our website and doing some different things to bring you more exclusive content as well. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to share, make sure to tell everyone about what we do here at We Create Music TV. And as I always say, peace.